Breaking news now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We begin at 7:30 with that breaking news out of Maine. More than a dozen people killed in the nation's latest mass shooting. The hunt for the suspected gunman happening right now. Good morning, I'm Erica Arias.
And I'm Tim Lemmer's. Thanks for joining us here on Fox 61 and on Fox 61 Plus. With mass shootings of this magnitude, it is usually, if not almost always, the case that the shooter is either killed or arrested almost immediately afterwards. And as Erica said, that is not the case here. This is still very much a fluid situation. We do know there were two shootings. Both of them, though, happened in the city of Lewiston, Maine, which is about 45 minutes north of Portland and about a 4-hour drive from Hartford. Fox 61's Keith McGilvery is in the Breaking News Center with the latest. Keith.
Tim and Erica, we continue to collect new information, so let's get to it. At this point, we know at least 16 people are dead, dozens more injured this morning. Want to give you a look at the scene from last night. As you can see, there was a heavy police presence there, areas taped off as that investigation unfolded. New this half hour, the number of schools and community closings in the region now jumping well over 200 at this point, as many across the region have been urged to shelter in place. That speaks to the significance of the concern here in this community and folks taking all kinds of precautions to make sure that nobody else gets hurt. Images want to share with you this morning released by the county sheriff's office showing a gunman entering the Spare Recreation bowling alley. We're told the FBI assisting Maine State Police with the investigation. As of right now, take a good look at your screen here. Police are looking for a person of interest who is still on the run. Police identifying him as a 40-year-old Robert Card, considered armed and dangerous. Important to note that he has not been named the shooter at this point, but according to police, an intelligence bulletin here pointing out he is a trained firearms instructor at a U.S. Army Reserve training facility in Maine. The Associated Press also reporting that according to law enforcement, Card had been committed to a mental health facility earlier this summer. It does not say why. New this half hour, we are hearing from a former FBI agent who may be able to speak to Card's mentality right now this morning.
He is aware of what he's doing, and he now has a will to live. So that type of an individual, from what I've seen, is somebody who's more likely to fight back or continue their killing spree as they try to escape further.
All right. Do you want to point out, I've also been watching the latest news conference from authorities that happened late into the night last night out of Maine. Went through some of that. Want to share some of what they had to say as they look for that person of interest.
We have literally hundreds of police officers working around the state of Maine to investigate this case, to locate Mr. Card, who again is a person of interest and a person of interest only. And we'll continue to gather information so that we can bring the suspect to justice and ultimately seek prosecution down the road.
All right, Lewiston Police Department releasing this photo here of a vehicle they had been searching for. Maine State Police say they found the vehicle in Lisbon, just about 6 miles or so southeast of Lewiston. But again, just one element of the significance of all of this morning. I printed out the list of those closings really within the last couple of minutes. It's already jumped by another 10 communities or so to 211, Tim and Erica, as safety and solving this really remain top of mind for folks there in Maine.
Yeah, Keith, I know people might be waking up. Also, they're seeing a lot of conflicting reports when it comes to the number of people killed and injured. Can you just walk us through what we're using to decide what we're reporting here?
Sure, and I remember that scenario, and many will post Sandy Hook here in Connecticut, that numbers were coming out. We were hearing conflicting reports. So let's be transparent with folks at home and talk about how we share the numbers that we do. We partner with the Associated Press, similar in the way that we would on election night. So we are using information that the Associated Press is sharing and attributing to law enforcement there. So that's how those numbers come to be. And we are keeping an eye on those for you this morning. State police and authorities there in Maine are looking to centralize where their information is coming from to try to avoid, misinformation being spread. Brooke Griffin headed to Maine this morning, so more from her as she gets there and gets situated. But for now, live in the Breaking News Center this morning, I'm Keith McGilvery, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Keith, thanks so much for monitoring the very latest for us. Appreciate that.
Yes.